My name is Craig Harrison. I live on Sonoma Mountain Road in Sonoma County.
Craig Harrison is one of the co-founders of Save Our Sonoma Roads. He's about to take us on a tour of how bad roads can get. According to MTC records, Sonoma County has a pavement condition index of 44 out of 100. With its rural roads so dilapidated, they have a PCI score of only 34.
It starts to deteriorate pretty quickly once you get off the main road. I came from Washington, D.C. most immediately, but I lived in Alaska, Hawaii, and I grew up in Southern California. The worst roads where I have lived are certainly Sonoma County. That's not a close call. I travel all over the world, and to be fair, I was in Madagascar in September, and the roads are worse in Madagascar, but that is in the 5% poorest countries in the world. I've also been in rural Argentina, where the roads are about the same as here.
I would think Appalachia would have better roads than this.
I am sure it does. People who've been in Appalachia tell me they've got better roads.
Top contenders for worst roads: Sonoma Mountain Road, where his home is located, and Spring Hill Road. Here are quotes from the public to the Press Democrat newspaper on the condition of those two roads, among 57 roads nominated as worst in the county.
Last winter, one pothole was circled with "no fishing" written next to it.
Driving on Sonoma Mountain Road is like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Craters that resemble the surface of Mars.
I think it ruined my car's suspension.
Meteor-blasted moonscape.
Worse by far now than it has been any time over the past 25 years.
Like many other counties, Sonoma County decreased funding for county roads in the 1980s as county budgets got tight.
I think it's a question of deferred maintenance. You can get away with deferring maintenance for a year or two, and everyone does that in their own lives. Government entities do that all the time. You have a short-term fiscal problem and you don't do things you'd like to do, but a year or two later you kind of circle back and fix it. But if you go on for a decade or 15 years, that little leak in your roof that would have cost you a couple $100 to fix is suddenly starting the whole roof to collapse, and you've got a $30,000 problem. And that's, I'm afraid, what's happened to our county roads. Our county road system has about 1,383 miles of roads. Now, that doesn't include the city roads. There's 9 cities here, and they have their own road systems, and they're accounted for separately. In this county, the Board of Supervisors a few years ago decided to establish what they call the primary road system, which is the 200 miles that are most used and most traveled, and those are fairly well maintained. The other 1,183 miles or so are subject to irregular funding and are possibly destined to go to dirt or gravel in the next decade or 2 decades if something isn't done to correct the situation. It's an interesting problem and very complicated. There's state, local, and federal money. Money is dispersed through the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. Our funding is going down from the state and federal gas taxes. And I kind of feel that Sonoma County is a relatively wealthy county if you look at counties all over the country. But there's just no way that we're going to be able to fix these roads on our own dime.
In Sonoma County, Mark Jones reporting.